Now that I'm 168, I'm pushing myself to be, 150 or whatever. Now I consider myself, when I look in the mirror, to look like an average sized person, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to be average size. I want to be thin, you know, because you're in a whole new sort of grading system now. Before I was chubby. I'm a chubby person, fat, whatever. When you look at me, people are judging me within that group, that social group, fat people. How do you stand amongst fat people? But then when you lose weight and you're considered an average sized person, whoa, there's a lot more competition and a lot more expectation. There's a lot more reasons to be critical of yourself because you're competing against all these people, these average size and thin people, beautiful women. Every day I see them. They're thin, they're cute, they're dressing cute, they're attractive. And now I'm like, well, I need to push myself to be that. I need to be that. I think society makes us expect that we should be that. And I fall into it, I don't know how. It's like there's some invisible person that's whispering in my ear that I have to be that, and once I'm that, I will be happy. And I talk about this in therapy. My therapist said to me, I just went yesterday, she said, it's like you think if you lose these last 20 pounds, you will be happy. You'll finally be happy, and you'll be in control, and you won't be insecure. And a lot of it is control for me. I mean, that's the hugest part of lap band that was attractive to me. It's like, I get to control how much I eat. I get to control my appetite. I get to control my weight. I get to control my body in a way that I've never been able to. I always felt like my appetite was out of my control. It was my greatest enemy. It was insatiable. I was never not hungry. I was a victim of my stomach, like, whatever you want, like, I have to give it to you because you're just fucking, like, screaming in my ear all day for food. So I'm just like my stomach's slave. And it made me feel really out of control and really insecure and really depressed, like I would never be able to be normal in this way or think about something else and be free of this obligation to my appetite. And then when I got lap band, it's like suddenly, oh, well, I can just go in and get a fill if I'm too hungry or if I'm eating too much. I just go in, get a fill, I eat less. The end. That's how that works. It suddenly became a problem that was so easily controlled and solvable. And that was amazing to me. The control that gave me, I totally get off on that. I think I have a lot of control issues. But anyway, the last 20 pounds, it's like, that's my control. It's under my control, and if I get there, my brain tells me I will be happy, and I will look at myself and I will think, I'm beautiful, or I'm a good person, or something. There'll be some sort of validation, 20 pounds less, that I don't have now. And there's always this idea in my head, and I think that a lot of people strive for this goal that's always manifested in the future, like 20 pounds down the road, whatever, 40 pounds down the road, 60 pounds down the road. And we forget to stop and enjoy where we're at right now. Where I'm at right now is a good place. I mean, I still think that I'm overweight and chubby. It's hard for me to look at myself any other way, or to look at myself in small amounts of clothing. I feel insecure. But you go up and down too. I have days where I look at myself and I'm like, hey, how's it going? What are you doing later? And then other days I'm like, oh God, I've come this far and I still look fat, And we need to remind ourselves to take the time to enjoy where we're at. So that's why I stop and I watch my old videos. I see myself at 240 pounds, and I say, wow, I've come a long way. I remember when I was fighting to get past 10 pounds, like, okay, I've lost 10 pounds, I have to lose 11 pounds. Okay, I've lost 11 pounds, I have to lose 12 pounds. And it seemed like the most impossible journey, and now I'm 70 pounds down. It's not an impossible journey. And every pound that you lose, you have to be grateful, and you have to appreciate who you are, what you are, for what you are right now. And I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to give myself credit for how far I've come and remind myself that it's not easy and it's not something to be taken for granted. I'm trying to not be cocky. I find that there's this cockiness that brews inside of me. Now that I've lost this weight, I see myself looking at overweight people and thinking, wow, they just haven't taken control of their problem. They haven't made the effort. They haven't made the commitment. Therefore, I'm more successful than them, or I'm better than them. And I have this thought in my head, and I'm just disgusted with it. I'm like, how can I think that about people? I am that person. I was that person. I still am that person, that overweight person that I know has terrible self-esteem problems and self-image issues and guilt, so much guilt. And I feel for those people, but there's this cockiness in me now. Like I'm better than. It's terrible. I remember being obese and looking at average sized people and skinny people and just resenting them. Like not even wanting to talk to them, because I'm like, their lives are so easy. They're just at an average weight. They go out to a meal. They just eat an average sized plate of food. They're full. They go home. They go to bed. They don't even have to fucking think about it. And I was like, fuck those people. That's so easy for them. They don't appreciate it. They don't deserve it.